Hello there, gang, and welcome to Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. I've got a whole bunch of news to talk about. Most of it is action figure related. So if you're only interested in things in the sphere of action figures, then you can go to the timestamp down below. All the toy news you could ever possibly need. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff out there that's happening in the world. So let's talk about it.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
The Acolyte, the Star Wars show on Disney Plus that has probably spurned the most venom and vitriol and also defensiveness from one side of the internet to the other. It's a polarizing show, but its time is done. Disney have confirmed, we ain't doing a season 2. The Acolyte is effectively cancelled. And that doesn't come as a huge shock, judging by the viewing numbers, or the Rotten Tomatoes scores, the viewer reviews. It was a largely badly reviewed show. I know a lot of people did enjoy it, and they supported it, and that's cool. I watched the first episode, and I just thought, no, you know what? Not for me. I didn't want to get bogged down in the arguments about it, because, woof! It's a pretty toxic thing, and hey, it can be addictive. I mean, come on, look, we all love drama. We're human beings. But we're not going to get any Season 2 drama, because that show has been 86th. Which takes us to a similar story, the same thing. Kathleen Kennedy, the lady who's been in charge of Disney Star Wars for, well, since its inception at Disney. She said, apparently, this is a little bit of back behind the scenes scuttlebutt, that she wanted to retire, or she was looking to retire, but she wanted to go out on a high. She wanted to go out on a win, and she was hoping that the Acolyte was going to be that big win, that big send-off that she could, thumb her nose at the critics and say, mic drop, peace, that's what I'm capable of. But unfortunately, the Acolyte wasn't that. It certainly wasn't universally loved, that's for sure. And now I feel like maybe she's going to be sticking around at Disney, hoping to try and get that one big win. And the odds of that happening seem to be getting increasingly small by the day. It reminds me of The Undertaker in WWE, wanting to end his career on a high, wanting to go out on a great match, but because his body was breaking down, every subsequent match he had was just worse and worse, until you just have to accept that I don't have that last great performance in me. And Kathleen Kennedy with Star Wars, one has to wonder, did she ever have a great performance in her? That is purely subjective. Far be it from me to even suggest. But still, it's an interesting angle that are we going to see play out? Is she eventually going to leave on a high? Is she going to leave on a low? Or is Disney just going to say, hey, best of luck in your future endeavors, here's a gold watch? Only time will tell, and we can only wonder what Star Wars will look like when that happens.
Lock your doors and hide the fancy jewelry, because guess who I've just confirmed is back in town? That's right, that feline felon, the Black Cat.
It's pretty well regarded that Madam Web has done irreparable damage to a lot of careers. However, one person who seems to have got away with being in that movie scot-free is Sydney Sweeney. She actually kind of owned the fact that it was a terrible movie, and she rolled with it and kind of embraces this nonsense that's a part of her filmography now. And it's not her only bite of the cherry with Sony Spider-Man, because apparently she's been cast as Black Cat in the next Spider-Man movie, which hopefully will be emigrating her over to the Disney MCU side of things. Because if she's playing the Black Cat in a Sony Spider-Verse movie, well, that's just another recipe for awfulness. But if she's going to be coddled in the loving arms of Disney Marvel, and they'll be shepherding this Sony Spider-Man Tom Holland type vehicle, then that could actually be okay. Because yeah, look, don't get me wrong, I know Disney is not the hit factory it used to be, but still their output is generally better than what Sony have been doing. So, Sydney Sweeney in the Felicia Hardy Black Cat costume? Yeah, I can picture that. I think I might picture that later tonight as well.
Today we are canceling the apocalypse!
Variety reports that Legendary Entertainment are moving forwards with an animated Pacific Rim show. This is cool. This is really exciting. I love Pacific Rim, even though I've only watched the first movie. I did watch the sequel actually as well, but then I kind of forgot all about it because it's not a good movie, and apparently the Netflix animated show was pretty boring. So I'm a big fan of the franchise, having watched probably about a third of it. But that first movie, it laid the groundwork for a great, bright future of entertainment that we never really got. But maybe we could do with this new show. There isn't a home for it yet, but it's speculated that it might go to... Is it Apple? Because Apple did the Monsterverse, the Godzilla Legendary show. So it would make sense that they would also, Legendary Pictures, would find a home for this as well. And hey, that might get us one step closer to a glorious world in which we have a Godzilla and King Kong Pacific Rim mashup. It would be stupid and dumb, but also a whole lot of fun. And hey, I can just keep on trying to manifest it. In video game news, a trailer is out for Alien Rogue Incursion. This is a VR game, which instantly was a bit disappointing to me because I'm like, well, I don't have a VR set, so I'm not going to play it, but I can appreciate a pretty wicked looking trailer. Alien is one of those franchises that was just made for first person creepy scary gaming. I need to get back and finish playing Alien Isolation. Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to watch the first Alien movie, then I'm going to play Alien Isolation, and then boom, that's going to get me ready and set for Alien Romulus. But if you guys out there have VR sets, you're going to want to keep your eyes out for this one, because I can imagine Alien in VR, that's going to be pretty effective. So despite Borderlands being a bit underwhelming at the box office, to say the least, video game movies still seem to be pretty popular. So Skydance Studios have just announced that they are going to be making Eternal Champions, the movie. This is one for the 90s kids right here. Eternal Champions was a 2D fighter that came out on the back of Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat, the big mid-90s 2D violent fighter craze. And Eternal Champions was this story of all these great fighters from throughout the timelines that were plucked the moment before their deaths. Very No Way Home, actually. And they would fight in this tournament, and whoever won it would be put back without dying. So it was kind of a cool concept. And the game, it was good in the 90s. It was I love pixel art, and it was just a gorgeous 2D pixel fighter, I think on the Mega Drive and maybe the Mega CD as well. And yeah, it's only just been announced, but already I'm interested to see where this is going to go. Bring on probably, I don't know, 2028 when this might be hitting cinemas, or maybe going direct to streaming. Who knows? But I'm interested to find out. To celebrate the release of Alien Romulus, Reebok are putting out some Ellen Ripley Alien sneakers. They're not actually called Ellen Ripley, but these are the style of shoes that the character of Ellen Ripley was wearing in Aliens. When she's on LV-426, was that the name of the planet? I think it might have been. She was wearing these trainers, and I can picture the posters with her rocking shoes that look just like these, with Newton one arm and a flamethrower in the other, about to take on the alien queen. So cool. Why couldn't we have got more movies that like properly continued that story rather than Alien 3 just like wiping out all that good stuff? There's a better timeline out there somewhere, I'm telling you. But these shoes, they look really cool. I'm not a big sneakerhead type person, but I do like the look of these. Just a nice little note about James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie and the DC cinematic universe as a whole. James Gunn was recently quoted in an interview as saying that they wrapped production on Superman a full year before it was scheduled to be released, or more to the point, they scheduled the release to match with the wrapping of production to give the visual effects artists a full year to perfect all of the work that needed doing. That's just really great. That's just good business and good filmmaking. I think there have been a lot of bad examples of studios being so focused on making money from a release that they end up losing it because they release a bad movie. It's better to wait for the movie to be finished and look great, and then you can release it and make lots of money eventually, rather than saying, no, this has to come out on this date for the big summer season, because then when it tanks, then, well, that's it. Because, you know, a good movie might take a while, but a bad movie is bad forever. And that's not a good thing. I know you could argue, Zack Snyder's Justice League. No, honestly, I mean, that was just bad twice. But at least, I got to admit, the 4-hour Snyder cut of Justice League, it was an improvement over the original. And honestly, it was one of those movies that was so dumb, it's kind of fun. So, so sometimes things go so pretentious that they're actually quite amusing. But this, hopefully, will not actually be any kind of ironic type of entertainment, this new James Gunn universe. We won't have to enjoy it on a sarcastic kind of level. We'll actually just enjoy it because it's a bunch of awesome characters in awesome movies. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's see what we get. Todd McFarlane has been doing the social media rounds promoting the upcoming Spawn the Dark Ages Kickstarter, and we got to see the figure itself in hand. It's a funny one for me because just at a glance it doesn't really look that different from any other Spawn figure. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot more detailing and paintwork and stuff there, but just at a glance, I can't help but think, why is this a Kickstarter? But hey, I'm not an economics toy money guy. I don't know these things. I'm not going to criticize it. I'm just going to call them like I see them, which is normally with minimal research. But it's fun to see Todd holding the figure and also saying that he's going to try and set a bit of a record, a bit tongue-in-cheek, but he's going to try and get the figures out super fast from the funding date. He seems to reckon it'll only probably take a couple of months from the Kickstarter being all sorted to people actually getting this in hand. And if that's the case, then fair play. For a turnaround time, that really ain't half bad. Stop right there. Where do you think you're going? Not before I tell you about our channel sponsor, Legendsverse. Legendsverse, if you haven't already heard, I don't know, maybe this is your first model behavior video, because Lord knows if it's not, then you've definitely heard about our sponsors already. But Legendsverse is the best place to go to curate all of your action figure collectibles. This website has not only Marvel Legends, but Mafex, Select, DC Multiverse, Kenner, Star Wars Black Series. I'm running out of breath just listing them. And not only is it good for cataloging all the figures that you own, but it's so good to go back, way back into time, and look at all the figures that came out just as a fun little exercise as to seeing where we've come from, because that's how you know where we're going. And also, it's going to help you find a whole bunch of grails that you didn't know exist. Just like I found a whole bunch of Ben Reilly Sensational Spider-Man figures that I was like, wait, these, what? Where did these come? How did I not know about these? And how much is it going to cost me to get my hands on them? Well, fortunately, Legendsverse could answer most of those questions. So go give them a follow. They're an incredible resource. I'm a big fan personally. Go check them out.
I'm Chun Li. Is there something I can help you with?
Revoltech have shown off full reveal images of their Street Fighter 6 Chun Li. And those are noises. Let's try some words. There are some good points and there are some bad points. The general style, the look of the figure at a glance is real nice, I think. The proportions, the curves, the stances, like, it looks cool. And you get a little bit closer and there are some sort of imperfections, like check out the big ball joints on the elbows. Those are a little bit unsightly. But then also the faces, I think, look really nice. Sometimes Revoltech will go too anime looking for my tastes, whereas this seems to just hit that sweet spot. This is more of a realistic but kind of comic booky kind of style to her face sculpts, and I think it really works with the character. Then the kicking effect as well, that looks really cool. Throw in some soft goods as well, and it's a really nice looking set. I kind of dig this.
Making her way to the ring from Tampa, Florida, the women's
Well, the champ certainly looks ready to go in this one, guys.
And give her credit, because she could have very...
Available directly through Mattel Creations is a retro 4-pack of WWE figures. $60, and we're going back to the mid-90s. The bright neon garish but also dim dark days of WWE. We're getting the British Bulldog and Shawn Michaels in gear that I think is kind of reminiscent of their Beware of Dog pay-per-view. A pay-per-view that had to be done twice when the power got cut off the first time. Interesting little factoid. We've got Alundra Blaze, who was like a one-woman women's division in the early 90s. Vince was like, oh, let's do the women division again, and we'll have one person, and we'll just bring someone in for her to beat every now and then. It was pretty trash, although it did give us Bull Nakano. And oof, That was a little mid-90s crush of mine. And Alundra Blaze is awesome. And then also we've got Dr. Isaac Yankum, DDS. Don't know whatever happened to that guy. But the gimmick is just another example of just the absolute creative garbage fire that was Vince's mind. You got a 7-foot-tall, terrifying monster. Let's dress him up like a dentist and call him Isaac Yankum, because, oh, kids don't like dentists. Jeez, it's a miracle my wrestling fandom survived the 90s. But hey, goes to show, it's the form of entertainment I love, not necessarily the way that it was produced at the time. At a recent toy fair, I think in Hong Kong, although I'm not entirely sure, Revoltech / Amazing Yamaguchi were just showing off a bunch of their My Hero Academia figures. If you guys are fans of that anime, well, then you can have some very busy shelves, because they are incredibly prolific and they're not slowing down.
I'll come with you.
I don't need any man's help.
Boss Fight Studios are very proud of their Red Sonja figure, and honestly guys, you should be, because this looks really cool. Obviously not painted up, but we just got a couple of images of their sculpt, their model that they've made. Before now, I think we've only had the concept art. So now we can see the thing in 3D. Maybe no paint, no extra details, but just looking at this unpainted one, she does look awful pretty. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. Congratulations, G.I. Joe fans, and congratulations Hasbro for separating those fans with their money, because the Rattler has now hit tier number 2. I had to look at my screen to make sure it was tier number 2. And that is the Cobra Rattler Gunner. Looks like a very nice set. Again, this is where the G.I. Joe team can really excel with their HasLabs. Because yes, they're putting characters behind tier walls, but they're not really characters. They're just additional figures for the toy. And this Cobra Gunner, yeah, with the helmet, the mask, all that kind of thing. Oof, yeah, that looks pretty good. That's a decent tier. Up for pre-order now are Jazzware's Total Anime figures that cover a whole bunch of different franchises. So here we've got, I'm going to embarrass myself, we've got Eren Yeager, Yuji Idatori, Izuku Midoraya, and Annie Forger. Forger. There you go. Dave doesn't know anime, but he does know fun-looking figures, and these definitely qualify as that.
Of unknown waters, out of the murky mystery comes the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters!
And now, brave collector, it is time to expand your Universal Monsters! And get some figures that you might already own, but now you got them in classic black and white form. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters in a lovely looking 4-pack set here. So these have all been previously released in colour, and having originally bought the Raphael and Leonardo, I can tell you they are absolutely stunning. I don't have the Leo in this set though. This is the Creature from the Black Lagoon Leonardo, but the amount of detailing going on here is incredible. But it's almost a bit of a shame that it's black and white, because one of the best parts of these was the incredible paintwork. But if you want to go for a real classic Monsters look, well, this definitely fits the bill, or fits the bill. It fits the bill. It fits the bill when it suits something. You foot the bill when you pay for something. Words, am I right?
Now let's see what the Joker. Oh my God, no! Oh, like a string of firecrackers.
Up now for pre-order at GameStop is the McFarlane Toys Frosted Deathstroke. God, the name just escaped me right there. Hey, you don't got to buy this if you don't want. So, I mean, I could easily look at this and be like, that's a stupid thing. But no, because obviously the people see value in it. And I dig that. The frosted look, it's something for someone. And that's cool. I ain't toy shaming you here. I just could imagine other things, other toy things that I'd want to spend $30 on. You know? But hey, if you want to build up a frosted cavalcade of chilly villains, then there you go. You can get Chilly Deathstroke, and you can pick him up at GameStop. Jakks Pacific has just shown off a couple of package shots of their upcoming Fire Mario and Fire Luigi. The Jakks Pacific Nintendo line look really fun, like just little small figures. They're only about 5 inch, but just a lot of personality crammed into them. I think these are super cute. apparently, from what I hear, the Operation Monster Force figures from Fresh Monkey Fiction should be shipping imminently. There's no official date that they're going to be hitting post offices, from what I understand, but apparently the scuttlebutt from Big Bad Toy Store, where you can order them, is that before long, before like very soon even, they're going to be going out there to all the people who have ordered them. And when people get them, by the looks of these pictures, I think they're probably going to be very happy with what they see. Devil Toys are doing a new version of a very successful figure from last year. So just to get the names right, I'll quote from here where it says, "We are very honored to announce that the second colorway of Rex G6 DV Type 1A16 collectible figure will be open for pre-order today." Why can't they just give it a name? Just call him Steve or something. Just make my life a little bit easier. So there's a regular edition, which is $215 plus shipping. Then there is also the deluxe edition. So you can order them online at deviltoys.com and put this wicked looking cyberpunk, it looks a bit like a Fortnite kind of design as well, and a bit of sort of street skater kind of look, but you know, in the far future of 2005. I remember when the year 2000s were like a crazy sci-fi future where everyone thought that people would dress like this. You give it a couple of years, you never know. But as a 1/6 scale figure, man, yeah, this thing looks pretty badass.
And take the lead.
This is kind of cool. SH Figure Arts are doing an action figure of a real-life Japanese Olympian. So they're releasing the 2024 Paris Olympics gold medalist, the street skateboarder, the legend, Yuto Horigome. There you go. And yeah, scheduled for release February of next year. And pre-orders are going to be open August 19th. So yesterday. There you go. Kind of nice to see them kind of repping their countryman in action figure form. I think that's kind of cool. For all you action figure customizers, Cal Productions have unveiled their 1/12 scale female figure. And woof, I think this looks terrific. You could use this for any character, and it would look pretty amazing because she's got a thick, athletic, muscular kind of build, and I think that would just look wicked. You could paint this up if you've got the painting chops. I don't. If I put paintbrush to this, I would instantly destroy it. But if you got the skills to pay the customizing bills, then you might want to pick up a few of these kind of base bodies, or the fact that it's already painted, then maybe it's more of a template for soft goods. If you're a soft goods kind of person, then maybe you can pick up various bits and pieces, decor out however you want, or just have her standing there in their underwear, like a jacked up Ellen Ripley. Actually, that's pretty cool now I think about it. Stick this next to a xenomorph from NECA. That would be a badass display, actually. Okay, I'm workshopping this.
The greatest battle in the history of the universe is
Cyberzoic are just sharing a couple of cool images. Simple as that, and I want to share them with you because they're showing us what they've been cooking. And what they've been cooking is a Cyberzoic Smiliodon, armored Smiliodon with Dragonila. This is a set from the Dragon Clan, and it's just giving us a taste of what we can look forward to coming out of Creative Beast Studios. And what I'm looking at, that's pretty cool. I think these are 1/18th. I'll double check that. If I'm wrong, I'll put a disclaimer before you kind of get too excited if you're a 1/12th person. But if it's 1/18th, all that means is you can fit more of these on your shelf. Glockies are expanding their Transformers G1 line, and I just love the aesthetic of these. They're just kind of goofy. They're sort of silly, but I just like goofy and silly. I mean, have you watched this show? That's kind of my wheelhouse. And Prime looking chunky and chonky. Soundwave with Laserbeak as well. Some of the lesser known characters too. It's nice that they're going outside the box of just like the heavy hitter Transformers. I love to see it. I love the aesthetic. I think these are awesome.
Beyond good, beyond evil, beyond your wildest imagination.
3-0 are showcasing a whole bunch of images of their MDLX Sideswipe. And this is one I'm going to have to get. I'm committed. I'm getting the MDLX Transformers, and Sideswipe, he looks every bit as good as all the other ones as well. Luckily, I'm not a completionist. That's a good thing. I don't need the multiple versions of Megatron or the different colored primes or all that kind of thing, but the main G1 characters that they do, I gotta pick them up. The way that they make them more modern and detailed and badass looking, but still keeping that classic bulky G1 aesthetic. Oof! I love it. That is my sweet spot for Transformers. 3-0 have nailed it, and that's why they're costing me a lot of money. Exclusive to Super ManilaCon, that was easy to say, is the Kotobukiya Nemesis Prime statue, which is a fun reinterpretation of their Optimus Prime. I've got their Optimus Prime. It's really cool. I love the anime girl version of the Transformers hero. And now we got the dark reflection in Nemesis Prime, slightly different from the Optimus, that she comes with this sword that she carries, which is only a substitute for the roller briefcase that the Optimus had. But yeah, having them both side by side as like bookends, that'd be cool. No, I don't need it. I just have to tell myself that. But I do like the look of it.
Go ahead, Panda. Show us what you can do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just ate. So I'm still digesting. So my
Fantasy, who are a company that I'm not familiar with, but by the looks of things, they do a Lego brick style thing. That's very technically accurate, Dave. And they're making this Kung Fu Panda Shifu house. Looks adorable. Apparently it's going to be available at all major retailers, and it looks like a very cute Sylvanian family's Miyazaki kind of design. I like it. I just want to pour myself some hot green tea and just sip and have a very zen afternoon building this thing. I think it looks kind of adorable. Over in Custom Corner, Tooth7104 has created these absolutely stunning Sony Spider-Man 2 figures of Spidey in the black symbiote costume with the big jacked up Venom as well. When I first saw these on Instagram, I had to shoot him a message and be like, dude, are these customs or third party? Please tell me they're third party because I want them. But he informed me, nah, they're just customs. But they are pretty incredible customs. So hats off to you, man. And look, you can give me some credit for restraint, all right? Because I really wanted to put that Venom in the thumbnail for this video, but I know that would be cruel clickbait. So instead, I'm just going to share it here. But man, what incredible custom talent, and just makes me think if Legends or Mafex or any company wanted to make official versions of these characters, by heck, they would look wicked. Today's cosplay cover artist is Alyssa Lochran. I hope I pronounced that name right. I've got an Instagram, but I don't think it's an official one. I can't find an official Instagram for this lady who is doing awesome cosplay with a superhero physique. So if there is an official one for her out there, maybe someone could point me in the right direction, because I don't want to go promoting some scam Instagram account. But there's so many images of her doing these awesome superhero cosplays that you would have thought she must be an official content creator. I just can't find it. But I could find a whole bunch of pictures of her. And dang it, each one looks better than the last. And that does it for Good News for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below. Let me know. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then you know what you gotta do. You gotta join the 6-1 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to go one step beyond, then you can do by getting yourself a YouTube channel membership. By joining this channel, then you get to enjoy all the extra features and functions, like the extra videos I make, and take part in the group chats with the live streams, all that kind of thing. And also just, it's a way of, just throwing a little something my way. Yeah, I appreciate it. Who doesn't want things thrown their way? I mean, bricks not, but yeah, I'm overthinking this, but thank you. I appreciate it. Wow, have you not clicked off yet? Why are you still watching this nonsense? I'm just rambling now. I'm sorry, your time's worth more than this. I'm just too verbose. Let's just wrap this up, okay? Until next time, keep displaying. What am I doing? Keep displaying model behavior.